I'm Christine, and today I shall be reviewing the Vampire Academy movie. So it's been an entire week since the movie officially was released. I was lucky enough to see it even before it was officially released. Why has it taken me so long to put out a review? This is what happened. I reread the book right before I saw the movie. And then I saw the movie. And then I read the script. And then I saw the movie again. My thoughts, they were all over the place. I really needed to let it sit for a little bit. So this section of the review is gonna be spoiler free. I went into this movie with, I think, pretty high expectations for it because I loved how they were marketing it. I read the books. This series is one of the funniest series I've ever read. It has a lot of serious stuff going on, but it's told from the point of view of Rose. And Rose is fantastically funny. And then you've got the people working on it. You got Dan Waters writing the script. You got Mark Waters directing it. I had a lot of faith in this movie. And overall, I did really enjoy this film. So no matter what I say in this review, because I'm gonna nitpick at things, because that's what we do. We love these books, so we like to point out and make fun of things that they do differently. Just know, I enjoyed this movie. I think it was a very faithful adaptation. I thought it was funny. I think the cast was great. I think this whole crew that worked on this film has so much potential to make fantastic sequels. So I want them to be able to make those sequels. Because this movie, the first film, is the hardest to adapt. It's the least exciting of the books. There's so much mythology that you have to cram into this first movie without making it boring. And that's difficult to do, especially when you're just jumping right into the action in this world. So in the beginning of this film, there's a bunch of exposition, and she's explaining the world and the 3 different types of vampires, because no one knows about these 3 different types of vampires. The words are weird. Like, everyone jumps into this book being like, whoa, I don't understand anything that's going on. What are all these words? Moroi, strigoi, the hamper, like, I don't know. I mean, is it perfect? No. But the next movie can be that much closer to perfect. I really don't know why Rotten Tomatoes is at a 12%. I think this movie deserves at least a 43%. The first half of the film feels a little smushed together. It's edited really tight, but then as it goes on to the second half, it kind of smooths out. The pacing gets better, and you start to really enjoy it. But I give this film a B, which is way higher than I've rated any other books movie adaptations in the last 2 years, excluding Catching Fire. If you haven't seen the film, I would leave now. I don't want to spoil the jokes for you and all the good parts. You want to keep that a surprise for yourself. So goodbye if you haven't seen the film. Bye! Okay, so Vampire Academy. Let's start with Rose first. So Rose is played by Zoey Deutsch, and it's definitely a different Rose than I've always pictured in my head. The Rose that I always read is kind of like a Styles from Teen Wolf in female form, comedic timing wise. Or, you know what, no. She's more of a Jace. She's more of a Jace in female form. But Zoey, I think she did a good job. She's a different Rose, but I enjoyed her as Rose. The opening scene, well, the first scene we have is the car crash. I really like that. Then we wake up, and we have that conversation with Lissa. It's a little forced because they're trying to explain the story super quickly to us. But I appreciated the humorous lines that were thrown in there.
The picture of Jimmy Carter in the beginning, that was pretty funny. She's like, I need to blend in with the picture of Jimmy Carter.
Then they go out to the street and have this whole fight with the Dampers that have come to take them home. Rose is so kick-ass. She's high in the book, and she's woozy, and all she can really do is throw herself in front of Lissa and be like, no, if you're gonna have to get to it, you're gonna have to go through me. In the movie, she's like,
owned, sets motorcycle on fire!
And you know what? It made for a really cool sequence. So, I mean, I don't have that much of a problem with it. But just looking back, I was like, wait, wasn't she high? I really like the scene they added in the beginning when the caravan stops and the Strigoi attack. Or else, we're not gonna really have that much of an idea what a Strigoi is. I thought Zoey and Danilo's chemistry was great. I really loved their scenes together. I just wish there were more, because I feel like they didn't know each other as well as it was assumed that they knew each other at the end. Overall, I just wanted some calmer discussions between characters that didn't feel like we were chomping at the bit. The film was cut so close, especially in the beginning, that all the dialogue was so close. Like, someone would spit something out and then it would cut back and forth, back and forth. It didn't feel as natural as a regular conversation. This is actually in the script, but they cut it out of the film. I wanted Dimitri and Rose to have that conversation about becoming a Strigoi. Would you want to be killed if you did become Strigoi? That's kind of important. We have this part where Rose pulls Dimitri aside, and she talks about how she wants to get serious. She wants to learn how to kill Strigoi now. And after that part, I really wanted a montage of them training really hard. Don't even tell me you don't like montages, because everyone loves a good montage, okay? And I thought that would have been a really effective way to get more training in there and get more kind of just random banter lines between Rose and Dimitri in a short period of time. I want the Mulan montage.
You must be swift as the coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire.
That would have fit so well. Like, let's just throw a Disney song in there because it works.
Rose is mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
And right at the end of the Mulan song would be like her taking down Dimitri and holding the stake to his heart. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun! I think it could have used like 2 montages. A school/gossip montage and a training montage. Right where I just said. School/gossip montage could go in the beginning because they never show Rose and Lissa talking about going to school for the first day. They show them coming onto campus again, but they don't show them pre the first day of classes. We just cut to Lissa drinking from the water fountain and Mia being like, back off, bitch, he's mine now. While we're on the subject of that, how goofy looking was Aaron in the film? In the book, I picture like a Zac Efron like figure, and this Aaron was kind of like a goofy looking science kid to me. Maybe it was the fangs that made him look so goofy? I don't know. A scene I really did like with the training was the opening one with Mason. I thought that worked really well. You need that year to catch up with what I was born with. Cuts her being flipped on her back and screaming. I also really loved how they did the bond in the film. I was worried about that because bonds, reading minds type of thing doesn't always come across great in movies. It a lot of the time comes off really shitty in movies, but I really enjoyed how they did this. We get a running commentary from Rose as we see through Lissa Vision, and I really enjoyed that. It was like we were reading the book and she was narrating. It was kind of breaking the fourth wall. I love how they kept in that scene where she tries to get the jump on Dimitri. And then that was kind of a running joke throughout the film. And I love how that tied up at the end when she tricked Dimitri into thinking that she wanted him to kiss her. And then she flipped him over. Are you not entertained? That was great. When she was pleading with him about kissing her, I was like, this does not sound like Rose. She has too much dignity to say something like that. But then it flipped around and I was, nice. The lust scene in the film, I wasn't thrilled with the lust scene in the movie. It just felt super rushed, and I wasn't a big fan of how it was edited together. That could have been because of PG-13, but they didn't have to make it like a montage, did they? I don't know. Okay, so Lissa. Film Lissa, I think, was quite different from book Lissa. She was less nice. She was more of a sassy, kind of mean at times Lissa. In the book, I can always tell it. She's being super protective of Rose. After Rose gets called a blood whore and kind of shunned by the school, which you can't really tell in the film because it goes so quickly at that point. You can't even pick up on the fact that she's really hurt by that. But Lissa comes to her defense like, that's it, I'm gonna fix this for you, Rose. I'm gonna fix this for you. And in the movie, it's kind of like, I'm gonna fix this for us. It's kind of, and then it becomes, I'm fixing this for Lissa, not for Rose at all. And then the fact that she even called Rose a blood whore in the film kind of bothered me. I was like, Lissa, oh guys, watch me do magic. Air, fire, water, air, fire, water, air, fire, water. She's in this weird trance. It just made me really step back and be like, I don't like Lissa, really. Book Lissa, I don't think would ever do that. I did like her running joke. You know how I feel about the V word. Rose, you know how I feel about high fives. There was this line that was cut out when they were practicing their element magic in that flashback, and just like, Rose, you know how I feel about Earth. One thing that they changed was Lissa's cutting. She has this issue where she cuts herself in the book because of the way Spirit is making her feel. Spirit doesn't do it. It doesn't physically cut her. She makes that decision and does it herself in the bathroom. It kind of really adds depth to her character, and it makes us understand more why Rose is always so worried about her, because she knows she's done this before. In the film, it's rushed over so quickly. Again, it could be because of PG-13. Her arms just like erupt with cuts after she heals Oscar, I think, and then it's so rushed. All of a sudden, Rose is talking to the office, and then all of a sudden, Melissa's so mad, and then the office, and then she's talking to the office, and it's just confusing, and you don't get that character depth that you get in the book when Rose finds her in the bathroom, and Lissa's so upset, and they have a conversation. They don't even have a conversation about it in the film. I don't know if that was cut out or not, but they don't have that heartfelt conversation about why Lissa is doing this to herself and how she's feeling inside. We really just get, oh, I'm itchy, oh, I'm shaky, the physical effects, but mentally, she's screwed up. That would be a nice, calm, non-rushed conversation that the girls could have had, and I just really wish they had it. They did have one calm conversation. I mean, not hectically edited, and that was in the mall. And I really enjoyed the mall part just because of that. They had some dialogue that wasn't completely rushed and chopped together and smushed from scene to scene. It was one setting, they were walking and they were talking, and it was nice. Then we have Natalie. Sarah Hyland plays Natalie. I think Natalie was my favorite character in this film. We had that great line about changing in front of people. I mean, like, one time I turned around this plant when I was changing.
Like, how would she even know which side of the plant is its face? It's just a plant. It's like, I should turn around my pillow so it doesn't see me change.
Oh no, there's eyes on both sides!
Oh, what are we gonna do?
See, in that awesome scene where she's licking the wall. Oh, when she's like, oh my god, it'd be like 3 Nancy Drews solving a case. And the scene when they're walking into the dance, I didn't catch this the first time because I was looking at Rose and Alyssa walking in. You see those 5 blonde girls like, Natalie's like, hi!
Maybe I'll just make you like me, so we can be BFFs forever and ever!
Let's talk about Jessie. Jessie was this over-the-top parody of the actual character of Jessie. His opening line to Rose, you, me, you, tonight, Jessie, caveman. No speaking full sentences. And then when we go to meet him in the middle of the day night, he's sitting there with his sunglasses on the couch. We, Maroy, may not burst into flames with the sun. We see the burns. When Dimitri walks in on them, it wasn't nearly as violent as it is in the book, which I was kind of bummed out about. And I think it is violent in the script as well, but maybe they cut it out in the movie to make it go quicker. Like, I would have liked to see him smush Jessie up against the wall and threaten him.
Hey, you know who never really, like, got anything, like, good to happen to him the entire movie? That orange-haired kid.
Mason?
Like, it just ended.
Yeah, things just get worse for him in book 2.
He solved the case.
Dies.
He makes the comment.
Then we have Christian, who's played by Dom Sherwood, and I think he did a great job.
What was that emo kid's name again? It was always
Christian? He's like my favorite character in the books. I love the end with Rose, and they jump out of the car. She's like, come on, fire magic, I need a scene I talk. And he couldn't perform magic-wise. We get the introduction to Mia.
You refer to her as Evil Ellen.
You refer to her as Evil Ellen. I know her name is Mia.
There's like a bunch of scenes with Mia, but like I feel like she's
like
too
over the
much.
top.
She's like over the
She's
top
like a parody.
being mean. Like, nobody would be that mean, even if you didn't like somebody. She's like, ha ha ha! I have soiled your day. Ha 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 ha! But she does have 2 funny parts. Her first scene and then one of her last
Wait, let's
scenes.
reenact the last scene. Do that again and I'll fire magic. You can act.
Well, I'll just water magic myself back before you can do it.
There was this hilarious line about Mia in the script, actually, when I was reading it, and I couldn't believe it was cut, because it was the best. Mia walks up to Lissa and Rose, and she starts bullying Lissa about stupid things, and Rose just goes up to her, picks her up, turns her around, and starts poking at her back. Aaron goes, Rose, what are you doing? Just looking for an off button to this doll. What kind of batteries does it take, AA's? The scene where she breaks into Kuroba's office, it was clearly cut from the film. Like, we saw it in the trailer, and it was led up to in the film. She asked Mason to help her break in, but then we just see her in the office, take a binder, go back to her room. No consequences, no fun break-in scene. What? Why? It was weirdly set up, and then there was no payoff. After thinking long and hard about what they could have cut in order to unrush the film, I really think these Queen Tatiana scenes were unnecessary in this first film, especially the second one. I really didn't like it. I felt like it was kind of a forced, this is the moral of the story scene. I really was not moved by Lissa's speech. I don't even really know what she meant now. Blood is family. Blood is death. Blood is red. No more bad blood or bullying. Bullying is bad. I really enjoyed the whole climactic scene section chunk of the film. I thought there were so many great lines. I love the scene where Rose sticks the sedative up Kuroba's ass, and I love hearing her tell Alberta that she did it. And then there's the part where Lissa is trying to jump in front of Rose, and Rose is trying to jump in front of Lissa. Like, Lissa, get behind me. And Lissa's like, no,
get behind me.
She's like, come on, Lissa.
No, get behind me.
Struggle. It was perfect. So So Dom's already on the ground, and then Rose offers up her neck. Rose collapses, and then Lissa heals Christian, and she collapses. Plop, plop, plop.
Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
I like the way that Carp was dealt with in the film. I like how they introduced her super early. She was very vague in the books. That was something the first time reading I was confused. They would just jump into a flashback with no preamble. But they introduced her name in the office. I was just a little confused at the end of the film when Carp was leading the army of Strigoi up in the mountains. We have this Harry Potter-esque zoom out of the school. And then we fly into the mountains, and Carp is like, not yet, but soon. So I don't know where that's going. I know we wanted to build the suspense for a second film, so whatever, I'm gonna roll with it. Hopefully we get another film. Please share your thoughts. What would you grade it? If you want to keep updated on the Vampire Academy news and the Frostbite news, you should start following pagepremiere.com on Twitter / checking their site because it's awesome. I'm Christine. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye! Do that again and I'll burn you to ashes.
Well, I have water magic, so I'll just water myself.
No, just